Derivatives trading involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, it is Tuesday. Let's fix the camera. Look at that. Okay, and I think we got some two-way trade here. So we actually moved up yesterday. It was a holiday, it didn't trade. Looks like they did get a decent move though. And then we had a spike early this morning and down. It looks like the spike has something to do with political instability in Italy. All manner of politics going on over there today. I can see here this point of control at 15. Pretty big, but we're significantly below that. I think we're going to get some two-way trade here today. So if I see some icebergs, I'm going to be cautious. I've seen this before. We'll see how it goes. The euro is just getting obliterated. Bund is giving us a good chart too. And my ZN is still not wanting to give me VWAP. It's upsetting me. Yeah, that's because it's been removed. The chart. There we go. There we go. Okay, so big move, and pretty big move down too. Okay, so 085 is the bottom of this. .085 or 040. Oh, let's grab our links. Let's do that. Yes. So here's Twitch. Here's the YouTube. So there's a story. Okay, so we are getting some initiation down. We're gonna take this. Okay, liquidity is a lot lower than it was. We do have news today too, don't we? We've got the composite HPI today. Why doesn't it give me the weekly view? That's annoying. Okay. We've got Canadian GDP on Thursday. Okay, well, already I'm seeing I stepped into the wrong price. Could have gotten filled at 10 or at 11. We're in the middle of range here. Curious. They sold it pretty aggressively, but they're not offering a ton. Okay. Well, it looks like the 5-year is kind of driving us here. This is just like February. Okay, good downtick. Okay, solid downtick. Okay, nobody's hitting my 08 half yet. Curious to say the least. Okay, so there's a few contracts went through there. And some pulling. Come on. Okay, +4. This cray. Okay, what do we got? Spam. And Bitcoin's doing interesting stuff for sure. I have to say, okay, so see an iceberg there at 09. We could probably take 09. We could probably take 09.5 too if we wanted to go short. I think 09.5 would probably be the most optimal. Notice nobody's hitting it yet. I'll reset it like that. Note the delta here. Okay, so I'm gonna hold off. Our edge right there was 09.5. They're hitting that a little bit too aggressively for my likes, and the cumulative delta in ZN, at least for the moment, is up. I want to see how far they're able to push. I might try taking it short again, but perhaps a little bit higher. Yeah, this is a little crazy. We should open up our Twitter. Tweet. Israel intercepting missiles from the Gaza Strip. US to impose 25% tariff on Chinese tech goods. The JPY is the safe haven and the strongest currency. Yes, I see. I agree with that. That appears to be the case. I really need to be able to see more than 3 days on this chart right here. It needs to be like 10 days for the JPY. Is strong. Okay. Well, now we're getting 10 is the upper end of this range, and it's kind of bubbling up. Okay, it's still going higher. Nobody's hit 10.5 yet. There you go. Looks weak, yeah. Okay. Maybe getting a spot here. Nope. Not quite what I wanted. Okay, that's more like what I wanted. Need to start seeing some initiation at 09.5 or I'm going to take it off. 1. Okay. Not a super strong bid, but enough. So I'm going to let it wait just a little bit. Okay. That's okay. That's good. That's good. Hit 09, please. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, 1. Good. Get concerned by the iceberging there at 09. They did not, they took it, but they did not initiate below it. I think we're okay to, you know, be patient here because we could just take the +1. I think we should be able to get that out at 09.5 if we need to. There does appear to be some buying interest at 09 though. Okay. Then it's 500, 600, that's not enough, but they did hit the 08.5. Okay, now that 09.5 is weak. I don't like. I'll just take +1. Probably should have done that a little earlier when this only one went in here, and then they bought it up again. I think I should have taken the +2 at that point. You're gonna go past 10.5 now. Okay, so movement is becoming extremely disorganized here. That was a pretty strong uptick there. Looks like the strong uptick is not being too predictive today. Okay. Another uptick. Just an okay one. Spent all weekend working on sprinklers and I think I'm still a little sore. Okay, well they took it up there. So glad we got out of that one. Oh yeah, thanks for the kudos on the +4. I mean the +4 one was okay. Where did I take it from? I took it from 10. Yeah, I think that one was pretty good looking at it. There's no way that I would know just from the chart that it was going to go down there. But I actually feel like that not getting myself run over here and just recognizing that it wasn't going to go and getting out was probably even better, even though I really should have gotten the +2. So that was, you know, seems to me like that's the one that would have screwed me over on other days, don't you think? Yeah, that's why order flow is so important. You'll see great trades which simply don't exist if you stare at charts. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that I notice is that so you see this spot right here between 11 and 10, and there's the middle at 10.5. And I can see here on the chart that it's a zipper and it's a distribution zone. So I can definitely go into the back, and I'm not surprised to be seeing them going back and forth here a little bit because there was a bit of back and forth here before. But if you watch it on the order flow, I mean, with this one, it has to go back and forth, at least 3 times for you to even know that it's doing that. And with the order flow, you can see it immediately because what will happen is you will tick up and they won't actually put very much on the bid. They'll only put like 500 up. And that's, you almost know almost immediately, like, okay, this is going to become a balanced price where it seems like buyers and sellers are both willing to take it here. So yeah, the chart, I mean, is good. I mean, it tells you good things about what happened in the past, but it's the past. By the time you see it on the chart, it's usually too late. Another thing we should say about that first trade, that +4, I don't know if I would have seen the end there, that it was going to go to 8 and stop. So we took +4 on that, and it was just perfect, just because of the auto take a profit thing that we've got that we're testing. So I am starting to think that, hey, maybe just automatically taking +4 in the 10-year is actually not a bad idea. This is now the second time where I really got more ticks than I think I would have if I had just been waiting. Now, maybe somebody is better than me at seeing the end and they can do it, but it seems like for me, that just automatically taking +4 seems like a good idea. Well, I wonder if they're going to bust out of this 10.5 here. So I took it here the last time. I took it short because there was an iceberg at 10.5. It was kind of like there was an iceberg. They weren't initiating above it. They got taken down. That's when I took it because the liquidity was overwhelming them. Now, I still see that. I'm a little concerned by one that I see 3,000 absorbed on the bid at 10 here. So that might be an indication that they're going to try and stop them out here. But then another thing is that, we've been watching this. It's kind of been disorganized around here, but this kind of looks like like a ascending triangle type of thing. So I think that they might try and bust them out here at 10.5. I don't see enough reward in it though to try and trade it. Okay, so yeah, so they did tick that up pretty aggressively. Yeah. After talk's not going so well. That up. Also, I wanted to check the jigsaw room. I want to see if they got anybody in there today, this early. No, not really. Okay, well, it's been here still. This is turning into a bubble up again. You know, it was when we touched the '08, it was kind of like a bubble up for a couple of prices. And then when they tried initiating lower, we got that disorganized price movement, but then they based back around 10 again, and now we're getting the bubble up. Now I'm wondering, something that I didn't notice as it was happening, but I think we should have, was that there was a lot of volume built there at 090. If they get back down to that 090, it would be awfully juicy profile step to take, wouldn't it? And they could go all the way back to 6, wouldn't be unusual. 4 wouldn't be unusual. 4 would kind of be like retracing the whole volatility move. So that's not out of the question. We're definitely still in a downtrend. I mean, even this move up kind of looks like a even in the order flow, kind of feels like a bull trap of sorts. Well, I don't want to take it now. Wow, they sure stepped off of it easily though, didn't they? Just turned around very quickly. That sucks. So did I miss something there at 110 that would have indicated they were going to turn around? Because it seems like that they just took it down there out of nowhere. And by the time I was like, oh, they're coming down, maybe they can attack that step in their profile, they were already like 2 ticks down. Would have been a good clean trade, but I was clearly not paying attention there. And Tucker didn't seem to see any big clue either. Maybe we should have been watching the 5-year. I didn't see any icebergs or anything. I do see that they weren't terribly interested in taking out the 30 half. So this is where I'm tempted to try and take a short, but I think that the number of ticks down you got there is a little bit much. I would prefer to be cautious in this kind of two-way trade because as we can see there, it can snap back on you in an instant. I mean, imagine if you had gone long at 10.5 or 11, and that would have gone right into your stop before you even know what was going on. Okay, so there's something going on there in the 5-year. Are you gonna try and yank it down? Nope. Not quite ready to tick up though. Nobody's traded out 29. Okay, now they've traded 29. Sure is heavy. I'm noticing that when we get down here to the lows, let's just assume for a moment that it's gonna pivot here. Which I think it may. I think it may. The sellers are fighting it ticking up by quite a bit. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of volume for them to push back here to the 09. Okay. See that? Okay, this time they might tick up. Yeah, up there. Okay, so they really went. I kind of feel like that the fight that they put up there at 08 just kind of gave buyers incentive to try and push it and stop them out. No, they're almost right back up here. Okay. Might want to just stay out of this. Don't focus too much on order flow in such days. Too much opportunity cost. Long-term players are in the game and will probably drive prices for a few days, only disturbed by rollover. Well, that was down again. So we missed the boat again as we were typing, but I'm not seeing like the spot, you know. Well, there's potentially one spot at 07. That price interests me. That might be the bottom of the range. Okay. Okay. He's typing. Okay, so Tucker does like the 9. As do I, but I want to let it get up there first before I put an order in. Oh, come on. Oh wait, half keeps pulling. Pulls, but then it doesn't go. Most trades are relative. Okay, so this spot here between 7.5 and 8 is really disorganized. So now I'm thinking anything above 7.5 would be okay for a short. Not just the step in the profile, but also how it behaved when it was up there. I don't know, the way that it's behaving makes me wonder if it's actually going to get up to 9. Okay. This is a little bit stronger of an uptick that time. Okay, they took it. And it was a strong tick up there at 08.5, so I'm weary about the 09. I want to see if they can get through it. Okay. So already I can see that it's going to take them a bit of volume if they're going to push through 090. Probably going to be at least 3,000 if they tick. Okay, level 2 is playing games with us here now. Okay, so they went through it. Again, a strong tick. So I'm going to hold off. I'm guessing, though, that Tucker got filled, yeah? Okay, well, I didn't like that. It ticked up, and it only took 790 contracts to do it. Nope. You didn't take it? Okay. All right, no need to just rest an order on the book. Better to see the action first. Definitely not for an entry, right? Hmm. Odds of a June 13th Fed rate hike have been bleeding lower, and Fed fund futures down to 75% from 96% 2 weeks ago. Hmm. I'm pretty sure they're going to raise in June. If they didn't raise, that would be a pretty big move up, wouldn't it? Okay, well, this would have been a good long play, but I definitely don't like buying it below the VWAP. And I kind of thought we thought that they were going to come up to the '09, yeah, but I don't think any of us thought that they were going to tick all the way to 10 half. I can see some initiation lower here. You see that? I can get filled at 10. I think I want it. Okay. I don't like how much volume was on the uptick, but okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. I see some pulling at 09 half, where that's what I want to see. Definitely some sell volume came in there. They might whip it around here on us though. We could be careful. Okay, that's good. Ooh, I like that. And then when they downticked that time, they offered 1500. But nobody's hitting 09 half. Okay, pull at 10 half. Balanced. Pulling. Okay, having a little bit of trouble here at 10 half as well. Okay. Pull at 110 and nobody's going through. Curious. Do you think that I'm going to have to get out here though? Yeah, okay. Whoa, what happened? Did I accidentally click twice there? Yeah, I think I did. Well, this is not somewhere that I want to be long. Wow. See that pull at 11 and a half? Okay. I'm kind of wondering now if they're gonna actually go all the way up to the VWAP. Okay, well there is still some absorption up here. Question is, how far can they take it into this? They could just steamroll right through them, to be honest. Well, I see some indication of it having slowed down here. I don't think I would want to take 15 or 11, 11 half. 15, 115, no, 11 half. That move up in delta is actually really significant. It's been there 15, 11 half many times now. Oh, I think this is the trend that we want to mess with. It may have turned around. Maybe our spot. I mean, it came up at 125. It definitely came up and turned around. I think they were at the bottom of the range here, so I don't think I want to necessarily try and short it there. Tough day, thin volume, probably just have to play the range. Yeah, or take 1 ticks. Like 1 between 11 and 11 half. Maybe even 11 half and 20. I still seem to be having trouble getting above 11 half though. This is definitely the place where balanced interest. So hit 11s. And I think I want, if I was going to do this. So the reason I'm holding off on taking a 1 tick here is because I'm not certain of what the trend is at this point. The first time we came up, I think that one between 110 and 11 half would have been really good. Like, this is my reference price now. If I'm going to take a short, I want to be above it. If I'm going to take a long, I want to be below it. Or at least I would strongly prefer to. Okay, so here's one where I think, okay. Well, they're being so flippy, I think that they're going to go make a new high. I don't think this is going to get filled now. I'm a little late. I would be okay with it out here too. Hmm. Okay. Nobody's hitting the 12. I think you could even buy 12 half, to be honest. But that wasn't the trade that I was trying to make here. But I think that at this point, there's a pretty good chance they're going to make it back to the VWAP now. The E-mini is about to open and not doing so hot. So let's be careful. They might swing us around a bit here. Still nobody selling the 12. Like even at 8, it pulled the 8. Okay, well, one contract went through. Given that it was pretty balanced at 11 half, and that they traded the 12 many times as well, that nobody wants to sell into 12, I think is very interesting. Yep, pop. Never got filled. So I'm still thinking I don't really like 13, but I do like 12 half. But like, what are actually the chances that I get filled on one of these now? Okay. Not a very strong uptick. Waiting on ZF to see if they take up. They're not quite ready to take it. They might start testing down again. Okay. So that was a lot of wrangling around for a tick, wasn't it? Every time it comes down into here, they go boom, boom. Okay. Well, okay, that was no good. Okay, tick up, but not super strong. So these prices aren't behaving the way that I expected to, so I'm just gonna stand back for a little bit. Oh, what do you know? Should have held it. Jeez. This is a bit more like what I was looking for. This 12.5 not being super strong, but the buy pressure continuing to be up from there. Okay. That's more like how I would like to get filled. Okay. And they're hitting, like when they tick that back, they're ticking up into the 13 pretty aggressively. Okay. A little bit of pulling. ZF. Like it's sitting on the edge. Come on. Come on. Nope. Not yet. It goes down to 4, but then they can't get it to tick up? Come on. Well, I thought I could take it for 125 to 13, but now I'm realizing that we really should have just waited for the bottom of the range. So we were going to take it long. That 120 would have been a much better price. Okay. Hmm. What's going on over here? It looks like the 5 years playing games. Good deal. Yeah, I think that was a poor entry still, but I really liked the bid pressure on those two ticks up. That's getting annoying where we see the edge come several times and they're absorbing. And maybe they push through and maybe they don't. How many times have we been through this one now? Yeah. Come on. Okay, well that's a little bit better. I don't know. It seems like they are really intent on not letting it get past this 31 half or so and ZF. Okay. Well, that was a little bit better. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, well, so they're putting up 12 and they're putting up 8, but then it's still going. And what is the E-mini is all over the place. You can see the E-mini is actually going up a little bit. Is that what's going on? Are we getting E-mini volatility pushing us around? Kind of forgot about the E-mini. It probably should have been out this whole time. Crap. Boo. How does it get minus 1 cent? Something off with the math there. Well, that was really awful, guys. I should have. I think I was not thinking straight there because it tried so many times to get through there and couldn't. Yeah. Chasing the short is a bad idea, I think. Especially going into an iceberg here at 10. Man. See that there in ZN? I don't think I've ever seen something so disorganized in the 10-year. I really shouldn't have been taking a trade there. Or not it. Or I took it. It was a bad trade. I feel really bad now. Bum bum bum. I could have just walked away after my first one and it would have been in a better spot. Because everything else after that has been kind of random, hasn't it? Well, more winners than losers still, but we're not getting enough on our winners. And that loser was a really bad one. Maybe a smaller stop. I don't know. I mean, in that instance, I definitely think it would have been justified, wouldn't it? Well, let's see. I haven't checked any of my comments. I should definitely check up on you guys. Oh, based on regarding your price value ratio for Bitcoin, is it based on transaction or payments count? The default measure of Bitcoin's performance should be payments per day rather than transaction count. It is on based on daily transaction value. So you could have a lot of transactions, but if they're only 1 cent, it doesn't really make a difference. Versus if somebody makes a transfer of $1 billion, that's going to increase it a lot. So that's what it's based on. Excuse me. Currency traders going long the Ultra Bond, huh? We're kind of in a precarious spot here in ZN because we're like literally smack dab in the middle of the range. It seems like a long might be okay here. Not at 110. I think to take it long, I need to see it tick down and see if they're really interested at 10 or not. The delta has definitely died off here, though. M or U? See, what is he talking about? Oh, are you talking about the month? Yep. UBU8. Wow. So let's try this again, shall we? Okay, a little bit of pulling there at 12. Okay, much more pulling at 12. Well, so I think that my mental stop is if they really start clearing 11. I guess you're saying I could move this up, huh? To there. Sure. Let's try that. Because we just had a quick 2 ticks up. I'm seeing a little bit of pulling at 12. They shouldn't be able to clear 11. Oh, you meant that currency. Yeah, I get you. Sorry. Okay, so there's a little bit of pulling at 11. But pulling both ways, I don't like it. A strong uptick. But no, not a lot of pulling at 12. They're trying to scare out shorts here. Okay, I like that 2000 ticked into 11.5 and they haven't ticked through, and we still have a good bid, and now the bid is more than the offer, but they're still playing level 2 games. But I think we have a little bit of a stronger position. Okay, good uptick. That's what I like to see. Immediately pulling. Good. Some hits into 12.5 that are being absorbed, so I think we got more than enough to make it to the VWAP now. Okay. So it's kind of acting like they're not ready to go through the 13.5, which we've touched a couple of times. Okay. I don't see why they would take 13.5 and not 14 at this point. Okay. Yeah. You get into stuff like palladium, it's really thin, right? Okay, that was a lure right there at 12.5. It pulled and then immediately rushed back in the other way. but they did not clear the price, which concerns me. Okay, that was bad right there. This next uptick should better be really strong. What's going on here? Okay, well, they're not really trading into 12. It's been sitting here for a while. Well, there you go. Dang it. But we get some news coming. The HPI, right? Okay, let's see what did it come in at? Consumer confidence 128 came in as expected. Oh, I guess the HPI already came through. Okay, that was a good uptick. Okay, that was bad. .30 is the bottom of range, and ZF is holding though. Some absorption at 11. Hmm. Ooh, it looks like we've got quite a battle going back and forth here, don't we? I think the seller's gonna win. I know. Well, the thing with that one was like, okay, it was +3. It wasn't going up. Maybe I should have gotten out there. Well, I mean, obviously in retrospect, we know that I should have gotten out there, but I think that there was enough that if I was being cautious and tepid, I could have gotten out there. But I really thought, man, I really thought that coming up to 13.5 and having ticked that 13.5 so many times and being one tick from the VWAP, that there was a really, really high possibility of us touching the VWAP, and we didn't. So that was my bad there. And then when it came back, I thought, okay, you know, there's another chance because we still have an okay position. But really, probably what we should have done is we should have just taken break even, right? Probably shouldn't let it go past break even on us. I mean, if we get 3 ticks up and then it comes back to our entry price, it really shouldn't be able to get back. It really shouldn't be able to get back to our entry price like that, should it? No, when did I say it was okay? Yeah. Hmm. Some of these should not have been. Yeah, I think as time went on, my trade management got worse and worse. I don't know, get out of the way. He said Monday morning quarterbacking, it's always easy to look at things in retrospect, but when you got a 350-pound lineman sprinting at you, what do? It didn't, well, yeah. I, I, it really didn't feel like that was what was happening when it happened. Yeah. It was like, um, I felt like, um, I felt like it came back three, and I was like, well, crap, I really should have taken that off. But then I felt like we were back to balance, and it was like, okay, like this is a new trade now, and I still thought that they were going to go long. I don't know why I thought that. I actually still think that they want to take it long, even at this moment, for some reason. Even though I don't really see anything overall to support that. Yeah, the mind is your enemy. It's a grind, yeah. Yesterday looked like an interesting trading day because they moved quite a bit, but there was not tons of volume. Mm. Well, so I think though, um, so one of the things that I'm sitting here thinking is already that I think that I did a bunch of things wrong here, because once it got to this trade right here, I should have quit. Um, there's really two reasons that I should have quit at this point. One was that the E-mini was about to open, and it looked like the E-mini was going to cause a lot of volatility, which it has, and I pointed that out at the time. And I was only going for like little one ticks here on some of this anyways, right? But then number two is like that's 5 trades at that point. So like 5 trades to get 4 ticks isn't very good. That's really only actually 3. Well, at that point I would have been +5, so it was really +4 when you factor in the commission. Because I don't want to take more than 4 to 6 trades, and I don't want to have more than 3 losers. Yeah, which made you continue to trade, which naturally ran you into a string of losers. I think that the first one was a good trade. I think that a lot of this other stuff was definitely random. I also think, seeing a pretty solid move up and pretty much missing all of it is a little disheartening. And then you get into some of these where it's like, okay, this one at 12.5, I actually thought was a great setup. Like, we had come up the 2 ticks. It was a price that I knew was balanced, and that I knew that they would try and make initiation up above it, and I held it, and we got great pressure up, and then I just didn't take it. So it was like, yeah, no, I definitely not. It has to be more like you see a good entry signal and it goes, So yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's only down 2, but it is definitely disappointing. We're kind of still sitting here at this 15.5. Like, I still want to take it long here. Oh, I don't know. I don't like that sullen CF. And maybe not even necessarily stop, but maybe should have taken a break. Okay. Interesting. Oh, there it's gonna go. It's finally gonna do it. Okay. Where was my short 10.5? That one was okay. See, look at this. Let's see. We're just talking about it, but for future reference or anybody that's not in Discord, I took 3 trades at 12.5, and look at where the step in the profile is. So I was picking the exact wrong price for a long. 3 times in a row. And that's where I was saying if I had taken it a couple of steps lower at 115, and I could have picked it up at 115 and almost all of these, I could have gotten +2 on all of these, right? So if you factor that into things, then it really could have been a +8 or even a +10 day. And there was another one of these, I think it was this one, where it actually did go to 13.5, right? And some of these, that's where it, oops. Could have also been that if I had gotten in at 115 or even better 110, I might have actually had a target hit a couple of times. So it definitely here, I think there was two things, right? Was one, inefficient entries, but then 2, there's just some poor management here, because this one I should have cut off faster. This one I should have taken a profit or at least break even on. That kind of stuff. So there's a lot we can fix. But the good news is that those are things that we can really fix. I think we're getting better at the entry bit. So entry is definitely something we can work on, because we just got to look at it and hold out for the better price. Getting out a little faster is a little bit harder, but I think I like to wait and let it play out a little bit. But on a day like today where we're getting the stop runs, I think that I should just be saying, okay, look, it's gone to, we're in the wrong spot, we got to get out. That time on the log, they didn't get as far. It could also, it was a long weekend. I worked hard. So I could play a factor in things as well. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't really think there's anything else to say about it. But I think that the strategy is okay. And I think we're trading it better. But there's a lot of work to go for sure. We're getting some bubbles here, by the way. That's interesting. One of the things I'm noticing, I should point out, is that I've seen on the edges a couple of places where there were icebergs, but it was not like the kind of iceberg that I would expect to see before was like we would come up here and this would be blue, and they just absorbed everybody and couldn't get through it. But that's not what happened. Instead, somebody was trying to buy just one tick below the high and they got washed out. So the level break is definitely the wrong trade today. How are our bitcoins? Oh, so we've got a little bit, so I'm going to keep the order flow up, but I have to post the charts. So Well, what do you know? They've pushed this range again. Okay, that's super interesting. Let me check to see if we have any other comments. What is my performance for this month? In treasuries, I think we're still pretty much right at break even. I don't really have the time to come in and show you the stats, but kind of depends on what you count. See if I can pull it up for you really quickly. In Bitcoin, of course, my monthly performance is 0 because we've basically been out the whole time. Well, that doesn't make sense. So if we go back to the beginning of the month, I think. All right, there's some this stuff at the beginning of the month that is those were the tilts. So for the month overall it's down. But it was, I think from the 7th was when we made a couple of changes. Oh, part of it is we have to do ZN, that's why. I don't count the E-mini trades either. Okay, so it actually is down. So I've been doing some experiments, right? And a lot of those didn't really work out. Oops, actually, sorry, I have to do this again. What was it? I forget if the first of the week was, yeah. There you go. So at the first of the month, there was some really nasty stuff, and I was kind of messing around. And then here we made some other changes, and since we made those other changes, we're kind of like mostly flat. So I have to say I'm still not doing very good in treasuries. And of course, if we go like way back, we have to look all the way to December when we made that first change. So you can see, interestingly enough, even after all of that, we are actually still up from December. And I've been tilting super hard. I think that I should be up here. I think that if I was really trading effectively and the way that I think my strategy should, I think that I should still be somewhere around 1500 because we've had some good days that I haven't been able to take advantage of, and I think I'm still a little bit in a tilt, you know? So but there was definitely enough in here that this period right here could be, you know, break even-ish. But I'm going to suspect, because this summer is not necessarily my best time. I'm going to suspect that this is probably going to continue through the summer. But if we can start getting to where we get just a little bit every day, I think we'll be in pretty good shape, because that's my worst section. What was the live trading? So I think I started it on I think I started it at 3:15. So I can actually, if I just sorry, I have to move this over because I don't want to show numbers. Okay. Yeah, it was like this. This was what the live trading looked like. So we had like 2 or 3 days that were good, and then I had a tilt day. Yeah, it was 3:15. I had a tilt day, and then I kind of held it for a little while, and then I gave up. I think that by this point I was just so exhausted by it. But this day on the 27th was bad. If this day hadn't have happened, could still be trading the live account. That's where I said, really the biggest problem that I did. When are you going live again? I don't know. I can't say. But the thing is I feel like that when you get close to like your drawdown limit, it really affects your trading, and then after an event like that, you can just see it's been a long time, but I've had a really hard time getting myself back up on my feet since then, haven't I? But if I had just had $500 more in there, what would the psychological impact have been? A little bit different, But at the same time, day like that, let's look at the 27th here really quickly. And go back and look at that day, and we can go back and we can watch it too. As painful as that will be to do. So here was another instance where oh, that's interesting. And that's not right at all. And I can't show this screen, unfortunately, because it's got columns that's got account numbers on it. But I see a 15, a 31, a minus 46, a minus 62. Does that make any sense? Why was that particular day so bad? I don't know. Anyways, I had a tilt day in there somewhere. I think it was the 27th, but for me to go live, I had how much did I have in the account? I had 1,500 in the account, right? So to get up to there again, I'd have to save $1,000, and then but I feel like I need more than that. So we could, $2,000 would be a little bit better. And I think, normally I would be able to save that up in about 4 months, because I'm usually able to put away about 500. Just kind of depends on what's going on. But we're working on our yard, so I don't think that right now is a very good time to be trying to do that sort of a thing. Plus, I don't want to go live into the period of time that I know is not typically very good for me. I don't think our trade stats go back as far back as last summer, but let's see. Let's just see if it'll show us to the December. Why? Oh, actually it does. That's cool. ZV and ZN. Make sure that there's not some. Yeah, so there it is before. So you could see I actually was doing pretty okay around this time of year last year. And then I had some tilts in here. I had some bad tilts in here. And then it was kind of running back to break even. So it's actually when you really look at the strategy and like if I was able to stick to it better, I guess I could say, because a lot of the days where I tilt are days where I've broken a rule or I've done something bad. So if you take those tilt days out, strategy actually works pretty good. You'll get like 1 or 2 months of up, and then it's just kind of sideways, and then 1 or 2 months of up, and it could be really good if I can get rid of the tilts. But on the split side, if I can just get the right positioning and I can just get those small days, we can even get those flat periods to be up a little bit. So I think overall the strategy is pretty good. It's all me. Yep, it's the blow up days to find the trader. It's 100% at the moment. I think it's much more me than it is the way I trade. So there you have it. I don't know if you have any other questions, but I still got like a minute. Oh, and why do you want to be a trader? Well, I'll tell you what, I really enjoy doing this. That's really the long and short of it. I mean, obviously I want to be profitable. I mean, like, it's a challenge to do that. And I think it's really, really hard to do that in treasuries. And so part of me is just the stubbornness of like, I'm going to win and beat this eventually. But honestly, I just enjoy doing it. I mean, if I had to trade sim for the rest of my life, I would do it. If that's what it took to try and be successful, because I enjoy doing it. And I still got the the Bitcoins are still doing well. I do have some money that I can pull and put into treasuries. So that's another thing, is I do have like my Goldman stock. We should check up on that. Let's check up on the Goldman trading view. Oh, I'm not logged in. Hold on. There we go. Okay. They changed things. Okay. Well, look, they're up there again. I do think that they're going to tick 14. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they're going to do it, but you're not going to be around for it. You're not going to be able to hold it for that long. That happens to us all the time, doesn't it? Yeah, you'll never trade live the same way you do in sim. Although I feel like that the way that I traded in sim was not really that different. The way that went was very much the way that like a combine would go for me. Okay, so Goldman still continues to struggle here with the rest of the overall market. Here's the E-mini. I really liked it when it was up here and it came down. I remember this day and I remember thinking, well, I still think we can get to like 280. So I held on. Now it's come back through here. Maybe they've turned around. It does look like E-mini turned around here. This has made a new high. I don't know where I don't quite understand where Goldman started underperforming the broader market. I guess it was right here, and I'm not sure what it was that happened at the end of April that made them start lagging. Hmm. Anyways. Yep, there's 13.5. I'm clearing it. And it did trade into 14. It's funny. I really do find this amusing, but I mean, the thing is, how many times could we have taken that range? Because we took it even here where I was thinking, yeah, maybe you could do this one, and we started talking from about 8:15 on, so we could have taken it another two more times. Pretty funny, right? I guess it's not surprising that something like that would catch me off guard, because not only is it a range, but I've never seen it been in a range that many times. But definitely they're giving us a lesson on picking the right price, aren't they? So we're gonna watch this again today and see if we can see better why these two prices, if there was something in the order flow to alert us to the fact that it was going to stop there, because we did not pick the price very effectively towards the later end of the trading. But that's it. I'll talk to you guys again. No, I don't know what I'm going to do with that information. It's a good question. I think we already answered the big questions, right? I should have stopped after 5 trades, for one, and we should have tried to pick our positions better. But obviously this is going to catch us off guard, and I need to rewatch it and see if there's something in there to see. But we'll talk about it later in chat. But I've got to run, so I will see you guys tomorrow.